There we go. Now you might be wondering, wait, why am I live at this late at night? And to be honest, it's just because who knows, maybe somebody's awake. And if not, no worries. I mean, I'm probably not going to do this for very long anyways, maybe top of the hour. Because it is 1:15 here. Well, actually, past 1:15, we're 1:16, 1:17 now. But, yeah, and I just didn't feel like watching TV anymore. And it's like, you know what? Let's talk into the camera instead. Who knows? Maybe somebody's awake, and if not, then no worries. I mean, I'll do this for like 5 to 10 minutes and then end it. But, oh, hi, GP Sigler. How's it going? Appreciate you coming on to the live stream. Um, this is actually the latest I've ever done any of these. So, um, I usually I'm not doing this quite this late. Um, but yeah, that's okay. I'm not like I was mentioning before you jumped in though. Is oh hey Rafael Cons, how's it going? Thank you for coming out to the live stream. I definitely appreciate it. Wow, I'm surprised I'm actually getting people in here, just due to time of night, right? But mind you, you guys might be European, so it might not be so bad for you guys. But well, thank you. I definitely love that car with the inline six, and actually on Tuesday, although I guess at this point it'd be tomorrow technically, since it's past midnight, that I will be actually installing a new carburetor on the car, which is an Autolite 2100, and it'll be fantastic. After I'm done this live. Oh, okay, so you're both American, cool, or at least in North America. And thank you. Yeah, like I'm gonna have the Autolite 2100 installed tomorrow, which will be sweet. And I'm very excited for that. It'll not only gain power, but it'll gain fuel efficiency as well. Oh, 12:15 in Cali. Oh, do you guys don't have? Oh wait, no. Yeah, I guess it would be. Yeah, okay. Yeah. It's 1:15 here. Yeah, it makes sense. Okay, never mind. Um, but yeah, like it'll gain power and fuel efficiency too, which is awesome. Like this little carburetor upgrade will probably give me 15 to 20 horsepower actually, even though it's just a little adapter, which will act as a spacer because I mean it's about that thick, right? It's in my car, otherwise I'd show it to you guys. But I did show it in another video, so the last video that I did. So that is in there. And yeah, like I really do love the sound of my exhaust too. And it does feel a little snappier with that exhaust. So, and what's funny though is like people will say, "Oh, you can't make a 6-cylinder sound good." Really? Uh, oh, see the thing is, I'm not in California. I'm in Alberta. We don't have emissions testing, so I don't have to worry about that as much. But we will be. It should be okay, to be honest. This is a newer carb that only has about 500 kilometers on it. Granted, it's been sitting for a few years, but yeah, it's been sitting for I think about 5 years now. But literally, it only has 500 kilometers on that carb. It is a 375 CFM Autolite 2100, which uh, easy way to tell that is with the Venturis being at 1.08. That's how you can tell that it's actually a 375 CFM carburetor, which will be fine for my little setup for now. I might not stick with that carburetor in the future. I might go with something a little bigger, but it's still going to stick with a 2 barrel. But yeah. See, I was actually driving my car around with open headers for a little bit, but with the new exhaust on, it's so much better now. To be honest, because like it was awful, so awful. Like driving it down the highway and stuff, and anytime you got into the gas a little bit, it was just way too loud. But idle, it was fantastic. I loved how how it sounded back then, which I love how it sounds now. Don't get me wrong, but like that was just really killer. Um, and yeah, like honestly, I'm very happy with the exhaust the way it is. Although there is no tailpipes on it, as I'm sure you guys saw. Which I'll have to potentially when I'm up in Edmonton, I might see if I can track down some tailpipes for it. Final plans for the car. Well, the video that I'm going to be uploading tonight, and it'll be available in the morning. Actually, you'll see a little bit of my plans on the paint on that because I did do some paint today. It's not like a full paint job or anything like that. I'm not doing any. I'm not doing like a full paint job on the car. Although it might turn into one eventually, but right now not so much. However, okay, let's see. Interior. I'm going to retain the stock pewter on the inside. But the seats, I'm going to get out of a Shelby Charger, actually. They are gray on blue, so that's going to kind of go with the theme on the outside. But the rest of the interior is going to stay that pewter that it is now, although I'm probably going to change the dash pad to a blue as well to match a little better, but also because I cannot find a pewter dash pad. It was a 1 year only color that doesn't exist anymore. So yeah, unless you get one like custom made, which I'm not doing. I want to build out my own center console for it actually out of wood, which I'm actually very good at carpentry, so it'll look really good when I'm done. I'll probably just use pine that is maybe it won't be super thick because it's a center console, right? And I'm gonna try and utilize actually. I have this cubby for a center console that is in my shed. It's out of an SN95, and the early SN95s, they only made them for like 2 years with this. Is there is actually I think it was 2 years, anyways, but there is a cup holder that's inside of that, right? So you open it up, and then you pull out the cup holder. You can close it back down, and you have a cup holder. It's pretty cool. It sits right over top the e-brake on an SN95. They didn't use it for very long because it didn't work out as well as they would have liked, but they ended up just doing in the center console themselves cup holders instead that way. So that was fine. With any swaps, I don't really want to go to a 5 lug. I love the wheels that I have for the car. They are Keystone Black Stars, which you guys I'm sure have seen those. They're the chrome on black wheels that I have. And as for, I do want to swap the transmission though for preferably like a T5 transmission. That would be great, honestly, from the C4. Hey Bruce, how's it going? Appreciate you coming out to live stream. And just trying to think, because like the T5 will be so much better, honestly, for the car, especially with what I'm doing with it. Rear end, I want to swap to an 8.8 with 373s, which again will be great. I do want to turbo the car as well because I've got this turbo sitting next to me, or maybe I'll go with a different turbo. We'll see, because this turbo next to me is a IHI AS12, which is a 46 millimeter turbo. Which would work for the setup, but it is technically a diesel turbo. It runs a little too much boost. And I could adjust the wastegate inside, I'm sure, to down to where I need it, but also I need to get like a blow off valve for this and stuff like that. So we'll see if I end up utilizing this turbocharger or maybe go into something like a T4, which would be a much more suitable turbo for the setup I'm doing. But the thing is, and I'm going to ask actually my buddy when I'm up there on Tuesday, when I'm doing the carburetor swap, if he thinks this would be a viable plan with turboing it, because I have an idea that would honestly be kind of cool if it can be utilized, and I'm not sure if it can. Because on the intake, on those, because the EGR valve actually bolts onto the intake. And I was thinking, instead of doing a oh, hey, Tim, how's it going? Yeah, I mean, you're over in Aussie land, so for you, it's not so bad. Um, but anyways, because of the EGR that goes into the intake, I'm almost thinking if maybe I can, instead of doing a blow-through carburetor setup, maybe I can just route the turbo into the intake, where that stock EGR would be, right? I can bolt everything up to there and it would be great. And to blow the turbo through there, right? Now, it's possible that might not work, but that's why I'm going to ask my buddy Roy Marco that he actually has a YouTube channel on here if you want to check him out, because honestly, he's a great guy and he helps me out so much, and yeah. Well, Tim, actually, which video did you see though? Like my last video, my short videos that I've done, because I did one today, or was it two? I think I did one, and then there will be another video actually coming out. It'll be out in the morning for me. For you, maybe when you're going to bed, potentially it might be out, or potentially the next day for you if you're asleep by then. But basically, in the video that I have coming out is the Oh, okay, yeah. Yep. That's the one that was my last big upload. Anyways, not that it was very long. It was only a 6 minute video, but then now this next video is about 9 minutes long, and it's actually showcasing the exhaust a little better, like showing okay, because I drove it up on the maintenance ramps and just took a look underneath, and actually, when you guys when I show the camera on there, that was my first look at the exhaust actually, without just like physically going underneath the car. So to see exactly what the shop did. So, I'm excited to show you guys that. And then also, it's going to showcase some painting that I was doing today. And yeah, it's honestly a really neat setup, and it's making me contemplate some things on the paint. So we shall see. But yeah, other than that, like on Tuesday, I'll be hopefully filming the installation of that carburetor that I mentioned up at Roy Marcos. So will be pretty fun. And then we're gonna go on a cruise too afterwards, which will be very cool up in Sherwood Park. So yeah, should be very exciting that way. But other than that, yeah, that's about all that's going on now. Although something I want to do tomorrow. Apologies. Something I want to do tomorrow is I mean, the thing is, with the trolls, I actually have fun flaming them like I do. I just go with the full-on attack and just destroy them. And they usually can't reply back because of the way I do it. And the thing is, it makes it so... Like, it teaches people, hey, you don't have to take their crap. You don't have to listen to them, anything like that. And any criticism that is not a constructive thing. And even then, if you have a problem with my channel, I don't care. Congratulations. Okay. There's so much stuff that I could have been doing differently. Absolutely. Am I going to change it though? No. I will, with my channel here, I am going to keep filming it the way I'm filming it. And, that way you can see, okay, the mistakes. Also, you can see as well that anybody can do this, right? Anybody can go get a tripod, use their phone, and go film videos. And it doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't have to be automotive, but that's just what I'm focusing on, right? And, it is cool that way. Now, I don't expect people to do it the way I do it. And that's totally fine. Like, I'm not saying, hey, somebody copy me. I mean, if they wanted to, go for it. I'm not gonna be upset. Because it's not like I'm the first person on the planet to not do editing. Or very minimal editing, anyways. But, yeah, it's super cool. And I'm very excited for my car in the future. Because it's finally coming together the way I wanted it to in the beginning, right? Because when I first got the car, I kind of had a vision, although it's changed a few times, but overall, the basic vision has stayed the same. And it's getting there slowly. And there you go. See, and that's cool, and I like that because there are so many people that will edit out mistakes and stuff like that. That'll, to be honest, I think over edit their videos. And it's like, why though? You know, like, because the thing is, when anybody makes a mistake, well, guess what? Something that does is it gets somebody to comment, right? And then that comment is manipulating the algorithm to make it so that more people see your videos, right? It's a win-win. And that's why, like, for example, with trolls and stuff like that, I will engage them. And I will keep going, and then I will shut them down. Just strictly for that. Like on Facebook, I deal with them a lot more than I do on YouTube. Because the thing is, most people, like, how I've grown to this level that I have in such a short amount of time, realistically, because I've been doing YouTube for a little over 2 years now. And the thing is, I got monetized in that time, right? Most people take about 5+ years to get monetized, unless they get something that just explodes in popularity. And I haven't gotten that yet. You know, that's totally fine. Like, my top video, I think, it's encroaching 8,000 views, right? But, you know, it is very fun. And, like, there are videos that I know will explode later on, eventually, because, like, with winter around the corner, it makes for some more interesting content, although content definitely will slow down during the wintertime because there's only so much I can do, right? I'm not really going to show me wrenching much on stuff in the wintertime, and I'm not going to, like, you can only do so many cold starts before it just gets boring, right? You know, and that's totally fine. The other stuff too is just like I might do another how to winterize your vehicle, because I did that once last year, and the video did okay. It wasn't great, but honestly, there was some other stuff that I wanted to add to that video, so I could redo it, and which I probably will end up doing, and then I'll just be doing a lot more of these live streams, right? So, for all of you lovely people, because yeah. Not very long now, like, because the winter tires are on my car, but it was a little premature. But to be honest, it did snow the next day when I did put my winter tires on the car. That's the whole reason why I did. But the snow didn't stick around, so you know, it's gonna have the Steelies going up to Edmonton, and I don't really care. You know, they are ugly, but oh well. I don't really feel like changing them again because that was a lot of work. When not able to use your impact, it takes a lot of work to, you know, break nuts loose by hand. Getting warm. And it's one of those things, and it's just a lot of fun. You know, who knows? Maybe I'll do a video of like how to put tire chains on your car, stuff like that, right? You know, get some more traction on stuff and whatever else, but. Again, there's only so much winter content I can do. And there's only so much of, like, hey, showing me sliding around in the snow that I can do. And people are, like, so surprised when I say that I drive a car year-round. But, you know, and some people get upset. Oh, hey, Brendan. An 832 there. Oh, there you go. I mean, but then again, you are in New Zealand, and Tim is in Australia. So, yeah, well, I can imagine. Like, I mean, the thing is, because winter where you are isn't exactly, like, winter, though, right? Because, like, here, it snows, it gets god-awful cold. Like, I'm one of the very few human beings, at least because I live in Alberta, that has experienced minus 40 Celsius and plus 40 Celsius. And for those that don't know Celsius, minus 40 Celsius is minus 40 Fahrenheit. So it is a god awful cold. And plus 40 is within the vicinity of around 94 Fahrenheit, I think. But yeah. Oh, okay, I need to. Okay, get the blanket off me and open the window. See, and I'm causing myself to cough because trust me, I'm not sick or anything. It's just when I do these lives, something I don't know with my voice just decides, hey, by the way, I'm gonna like really wear you out and make you cough. It's not fun actually. I gotta go get a bottle of water really quick. Yeah, will only take me just a few seconds. Ah, there we go. See, like I said, only a few seconds. That feels better. But yeah, I mean, something else that I'm actually planning on doing. I mean, at this point later today, in filming. Nice. Because actually something that I'm potentially doing later today, or at least going to try to, is actually there is a 1977 Mercury Grand Marquis coupe that is out at Greg's. It's got a 460 big block in it, and the problem is the motor's locked up. So I want to film a couple of videos actually showing, okay, what steps do you have to take to get a motor unstuck, or if you even can, this stuff to do, and then basically showing, hey, do it, right? And if we can get that motor unstuck, and who knows, maybe we can get it running, or at least I can get it running, I should say. So, yeah, there's a 460 big block in it. It's interesting talking about that with you guys. I mean, the thing is, over there, you guys didn't get like the giant motors that we got here. Because, like, it's funny when you talk to most Europeans, for example. Oh, they think a 5-liter engine is such a big motor, which is like a 302 or a 305 or whatever, right? Or even a 301. But it's like that's a small motor over here. XC Falcon with a really? Wait, they actually put 460s in Falcons, or was that like imported and swapped over? Because if that is the original motor to that, that's kind of cool. Actually, I never knew they did that. Okay, what it was fitted? Like, what do you mean? Like fitted from factory, or like put in there aftermarket? Apologies. Sometimes when people say it was fitted, sometimes like it was modified that way or fitted from factory, and I'm not sure which one you're referring to. Oh, aftermarket? Okay, no worries. That's cool, actually. That's very cool. Oh, interesting. Yeah, because like the 460, honestly, they're not a bad engine at all. They're actually very reliable and stuff like that. The one thing that they were famous for this actually, is especially in the late 70s, it was even worse. Interesting. And it is interesting how many inline sixes that exist over there compared to here. Because, to find excluding, and the fact that you guys kept using the inline six through the 70s, when it wasn't until 79 where it was reintroduced here in the North American market, because we were using the it would have emissions, yes. I'm pretty sure there's a smog pump on it, or I'd actually have to look to see if there's a smog pump on there for sure. It's definitely going to have a catalytic converter. It'll probably have EGR stuff and whatever else. But, yeah. Hi, kitten. Can I help you? Are you going to come lay down? Come here. Yeah, see that? And it's too bad that, inlines weren't really retained here. Like, the inline six engines, just nobody liked them, nobody cared about them. And there's only been like one other iteration here for an American manufacturer to have an inline six in their vehicle, and that was GM. GM had, I want to say it was a 4.1 liter inline six, and only existed for, it was about 4 or 5 years. I don't remember hearing anything bad about the engines, but yeah, they weren't really that desirable. Everybody wanted a V8 or a V6, which, because as I'm sure you guys are aware, an inline is so much better than a V for actually how efficient a vehicle is. And I'm sure you would that way, but you're a Ford guy, so it makes perfect sense, right? The thing is, I'm not 100% like a Ford gal, but I do love my Fords. However, if you want to get really technical, the cars that I really love the most are Mopars and AMCs. I'm just happen to be on a Ford kick right now, and don't get me wrong, I love my Mustang and everything, but it wasn't like ever a dream car or anything like that for me. It's turning into one, however, but like before, oh, was it? Okay, cool. See, I didn't know that either. Like, I mean, because the thing is, like, it is interesting actually how many like American engines were put into European cars, right, and Australian cars especially. But yeah, we'll see. And the Mopars you guys have over there are so damn cool, and I would love to even see one. There is, I think, one in Alberta actually, of it's a 72 Charger. It resides in, I think, Calgary, and I do want to see if I can track down the owner and do a video on it, because it's just like, it's something you never see, and I know they are god awful expensive, because they're just so rare. And this is like a 72 Charger that is an Aussie Charger. I don't know what's under the hood of it, but I've never talked to the owner. I've never physically seen the car in person. I've just seen pictures of it. So I'm hoping to run into them at some point and do a video on that car. There's also some other vehicles that I still need to do videos on, but it might take a while because with winter around the corner now. And to be honest, I so would. Like, I would import a Ute, absolutely. I love the Utes, and even like a Mopar Ute. I'm not like trying to think of the Mopar Utes that I know of. Which, I mean, obviously they did, everybody made a Ute, right? And it's interesting though, because Utes never really caught on here. Like, they were a big sort of thing in the 60s, and Chrysler never made a Ute over here until the Rampage came out in 1981 or 82. I think it was 82. And the Dodge Rampage was a front-wheel drive that had a Mitsubishi 2.2 in it, right? and it could have a 3-speed automatic or a 5-speed manual in them. And they weren't that great of a car, to be honest, but they're cool. I would love to own one, but I know that it's gonna give me so many reliability issues that actually I should do this. There we go. That I probably don't actually want one in the end, but like I would love to play with one. Don't get me wrong. I mean, and panel vans, I like panel vans. Depending on the panel van, but the thing is, whenever you see a panel over here, it's usually 50s or 60s. They did make them some into the 70s, but not many. And yeah. But you know, it is pretty neat. I mean, and you guys like held on to stuff for so much longer than what we did over here. Which is cool because like look at the Ford Inline 6 and look at how it evolved through time, right? '73 Plymouth Scamp. Now, Valiant Drifter. Okay, so yes, they do rust. But to be honest, so did everything in the '80s. Like the '80s were the worst time for American manufacturers, I think. Not only for gutting, cars by restricting them emissions wise, but then as well as having the issue of, well, the rust issues, which just about plagued every manufacturer at the time, and it got really bad. Um, the Scamp, yes, the Scamp was the Plymouth variant of a Dart. Um, and those are sweet, honestly. And the '73, that's in the sweet spot of one of the really cool ones too. Most people love their 68, 67, 69s. For me, I like a 71 or 72 the most. But, you know, it's one of those deals. And you can get them with a host of different engines. Like back in the '60s, they made one with a 426 Hemi, but they only made, I think it was like 30 or 40 of those. They were not street legal though. See, like, and I like the Dodge K cars as well. Okay, it was a 318 car. Okay, that's cool. Very cool. And yeah, I mean, after 1973, like 74 and onwards, they did start to get a little bigger, and the bumpers, for example, started to get bigger because they introduced the 5 mile an hour bumper in 1974. Um, and it was all for pedestrian safety, and it's like, really? Like you can look at, for example, it's so stupid actually because of American safety standards. Um, that a Lamborghini Countach had those big ugly bumperettes on them here in Canada and in the States when they were sold there too. And even though what's funny is a Lamborghini Countach sits so low that when it hits you dead on, it's hitting you at your ankle. So it's like, what the hell is a bumperette gonna do for you? Like, I'm sorry, you're gonna get taken out no matter what. What are we talking about here, right? It's just ridiculous. Let's see. We got the full size cars. See, like, and it depends on the vehicle. Like, for example, that Grand Marquis with the big bumpers, it matches the car and looks fantastic. But to be fair, that's about nearly 20 feet long, that car. So it does make sense to have those giant bumpers on them. But you can even look at, well, the 78 Civic, right? Which I did actually do. There's actually a video on my channel. It's a YouTube short of my Mustang next to the Civic. And the Civic has some of those big bumpers on it too. And it's actually kind of depressing. Don't get me wrong. I love the look of the car, but like I would love to tuck those bumpers in and get like some thinner bumpers and stuff like that for it. I'm probably not going to do that, but it would be cool because I don't really have the fabrication skills to tuck bumpers in, right? Who knows? Someday I might, and I might do that to that car. But yeah, it's a 1978 Honda Civic. It has the 1200cc EB3 with a 5-speed manual in it. It was like 67 horsepower, I think. Only weighs 1,500 pounds. It's freaking awesome. See, I mean, that's cool, honestly. Like, that that they made them over there. I mean, I'm not shocked because they were kind of made everywhere, I think, or released everywhere, damn near. And like, it's gonna be such a cool car. Honda Life. I don't even know what that is. Now, see, now I gotta look this up. I have my laptop beside me, but it's god awful slow. So let's take a look. What the hell is a Honda Life? Because to me, that sounds like a K car, but which because yeah, that's kind of sounds kind of neat. And I'm learning more and more about Honda, especially owning this car. Taking a little more of an interest. The car is actually currently at the shop, and that's where I did the video on it. What did you call it? Honda Life. Hey, like I know a lot of cars, but there are some that take me by surprise at times, right? Oh, they make new ones too. Okay, I'll put that in. Yeah, I definitely do. Honda Life. That's what it's called. Once this computer loads it. Oh, interesting. So essentially, that's like you take a Honda N60, and yeah, that's kind of what that looks like almost. I mean, it looks kind of like a Civic, but a lot smaller, and like the style lines and everything look a lot more like the Honda N60s from the '60s. Huh, that's interesting. And stuff like that is really cool. Um, and it was a K car. Okay, that's what I figured. Yeah, so let's see. Wow, a 356 cc straight twin engine. That is cool. Honestly, that's a neat little car. I mean, I'd be interested in trying to find one of those. And import one just to show, like, hey, it's kind of like a baby Civic, right? And show like the differences between the two cars. I think I know what that looks like actually, but I'll look that up. 5 Honda City, because they were a very boxy car. Because I mean, they also made those in a turbo. Yeah, that's what I thought they were. Yeah, I know of that car, and it's only because of Gran Turismo that I know of that car, though. I will say that, and actually, because Brendan mentioned a vehicle, or at least I thought he did. Oh, maybe not. Okay, he was just talking about the scamp. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I mean, it's not that I really want two-cylinder cars, but it's just kind of cool, you know? Like, and the thing is, because something that I want to actually do as a video that'd be really cool is finding an American contemporary vehicle that is the same as um is like find an American compact of the same time period of the Civic and show like, okay, what are differences or even some similarities between the two cars? Like if I took, for example, say if I found a 79 Fiesta or Festiva Ford, right? And then compare that to the Civic and see what's better between the Civic or that or, stuff like that. See, a Vega, it's not quite because the Vega, yes, is an economy car or was. Um, a Vega isn't really that kind of econo box, right? And that's what I'd be looking for because the Civic was, right? The Civic was sole designed to be that econo box, while the Vega was designed to, and it was also front engine rear wheel drive, right? I'd like to find something that's front engine front wheel drive. That's all. Yeah, a little bit. And some of them are a lot more sporty. Like, I have physically driven a '76 Cosworth Vega, and that thing was just a blast to drive. See, and that could be a possibility too. Like, I don't want to go too far. Like, because, okay, that Civic is 78. I would like to stay 78, 79, 80, right? To find this other car. Like, and just have them side by side and, do a comparison video, which would be so cool to do. But, see, Dodge Aries, though, that's a coupe or a sedan. They also did make the wagon as well, but never a hatchback, right? Like, and the thing is, and I think and like the Dodge Colt, you don't see very many of them anymore. They did make a few of them, but the thing is, like, what I'm probably gonna have to do is find somebody with a Chevette because they made them at the same time, and they're much easier to find. Even though the Chevette was a front engine rear wheel drive, but it still is kind of an econo box. Yep, they were the same car. Absolutely. Um, and what's funny is we got both versions here too. Plymouth Horizon, that's another one. That didn't come out until 82, 81 or 82. And actually, Brendan, no, not the Vauxhall, the Chevy version, which may have been a Vauxhall, but I don't. Maybe they were. Now I need to look that up. Were they the same? Hey, Rascal, Rascal, Rascal. Dion Harris says hi. There, I said hi to my cat for you. I did not see what you said there. Oh, there we go. of a Vauxhall Chevette. No worries. Um, oh no, see that's an entirely different car. Yeah, the Chevrolet Chevette. We never got these over here. Let's just see the. If you don't know, Chevette. There we go. Sorry, I did not see your message there. So Rascal, he is I think 12 or 13. And well, that's yeah, well where that is. His name is Rascal, and we've had him since he was about 4 months old. Let's see, were they on the same chassis? I need to. I'm double checking here. See. Oh no, they were not on the same platform. Um, because the T platform, I don't think. Oh wait, no, yes it was. Sorry, my bad. It was a Vauxhall Chevette on the same platform as well. My mistake. Um, God, they made so many different variants. Yeah, actually, sorry, they were the same platform. I was just scrolling through and finding all the vehicles. I didn't see it at first, but yeah. Um, I mean, and like I said, I could. That might be the way to go, but I mean, I'm going to put out a post whenever the Civic's on the road, and when it's not god awful cold. I'm gonna put out a kind of search to be like, hey, I'm looking for an American Econo box that is from these years. I would like to film it to do a comparison with the Civic. Um, Anybody have one, right? And who knows? Maybe I can find somebody. I don't know if I will be able to, but we shall see. And I absolutely love animals too. Like cats are my favorite, but I do love dogs as well. But I mean, when you've had cats for as long as I have, like, because the other one, which I think is with my dad currently, Saber is 20 years old. We've had him for 19 years. So since I was very young, we've had Saber. Rascal came when I was a teenager. So yeah, because we got Rascal when he was 4 months. He's about 12 now, so that would put it 20, 2010, 2009, somewhere in there. But yeah, and I love my kitten. But yeah, that's fair. Because like Rascal, he has two nicknames because he has Raskinator, and he has Rascal the Asshole. So, because he is a bit of an asshole, to be honest. That one right there. Um, and then Saber, we've called him Saberlicious. Um, and when we're just feeling like, hey, kind of silly. Around here. Oh, um, Flack, not necessarily. It was. I mean, some people have. Don't get me wrong on some stuff, but I'm not sure which community post are you referring to. Are you talking about the one where I was calling out? I'm just trying to remember. Like, I'm not sure which one you're referring to though, because there's been a couple. There is, there are some YouTubers out there that honestly have a extreme distaste of me. That they said some very nasty things, and I don't actually know exactly what they said because I could not watch that live stream that they did. I lasted about 4 minutes and they were out. Um, well, the thing is, there was okay. Little background on what happened. If this is what I'm assuming you're referring to, is there was a live stream, and every Friday night, or not every Friday, I should say every Sunday night at 7 Mountain Time, which is 9 Eastern, Novataz does a live stream on his channel. And, it took a little bit. Actually, that day didn't start till actually 7:30. And the thing is, we were having a great time. Had a few people in the chat, whatever else, and it's kind of small, but it was totally fine. And then the thing is, a bunch of guys came over. Some of them with the intention of just trolling. That's all they were doing. They even created a fake account. Yeah, see, and Brendan, that's what we were referring to actually in that live stream when we were talking about that. But yeah, they created a fake account live on camera just for the purpose of trolling. It's called Trash Content Crew, right? And, the thing is, and they were saying, oh, they were helping. No, they were trolling. As soon as I saw that name comment down below, I was not really happy about it. Because considering it was only a few days prior that everybody got hit with the guy with a very similar name for trolling. Yeah, and now I haven't gotten them at all since, but the thing is, because it happened that night, and then the day after is when it got bad. Because I was getting harassed really badly on Instagram just through, messaging there. To the point where I was actually doing a live stream because I was just trying to get away from everybody and just relax. That's all I was doing. I was out in nature. It was a wonderful time. But my phone kept blowing up from these people harassing me. So I actually broke down crying in the middle of a live stream. Now, I turned the camera away because I'm not one of these, hey, I'm not a drama queen, and I'm not, like, I have more self-preservation than that. And it was a very emotional and hard time. And, and it's funny because apparently, I guess they were watching the stream while they were doing their stream later on, and they said I wasn't crying. It's just like, why the hell would I lie about that? Because I'm sorry. I deal with depression. I deal with anxiety. I deal with this stuff on a daily basis. There's no point in trying to lie about that crap. Because I'm sorry, I'm not one of those people, alright? So it's just, it's sad. I'm not mentioning names at this point. You can watch other stuff and figure out names from people, or you can just look at that community post and see the names involved. Well, I definitely appreciate it from all of you guys because it is amazing. The net that I have of people that just are very supportive and wonderful people. Because you'll come across people on here that like you think they're an amazing person, and that they are gonna do anything, and then few months down the road they turn out to be terrible, and that happened. I've had one person reach out and apologize, so me and him are on speaking terms, and we're still kind of friends. And I've had one other person reach, or they haven't really tried to reach out. They commented on a video to try and reach out, and it's just like, okay, that's not the way to do it. Message me on Instagram, you know it, right? Yeah, oh, exactly. And the thing is, for me, and because you guys have been around long enough to see that, honestly, I'm not, um, I'm not one of these people that does drama or thrives off it or anything like that. To be honest, when there's an altercation of any type, I don't handle it well. I will start to visibly shake, and I get very emotional, and it's not a good time for me. Um because of some stuff in my past, I get very, very bad about any confrontation. So I don't deal with them well. So yeah, like, don't get me wrong. I can, you know, deal with trolls and stuff like that. That's fine. But when there's an actual altercation like that, it gets a lot worse. And like, and eventually, like, that person that was harassing me so much, I had to block them finally. And then yeah, and I guess they went on a total tirade afterwards, on a live on their channel that evening. So yeah, and most of the people kind of like dropped it, and by that point, so did I. But well, he just kept it going and going and going and going and going. So yeah, and it's all because I mentioned his name because he was part of it, right? And any of the people that were in that chat watching that happen and not calling it out, or even coming over and commenting a bit on ours when it's happening, you're guilty by association, right? And and that's why I mentioned their name. So, it is what it is, right? And when I did that live stream, because I did 2 live streams that day. One was to just kind of address what happened, but then my phone overheated, and I had to cool it down. And then once it was cooled down, I went out to Davidson Park and did a live stream there for about an hour. It was a great time, honestly, and I had a lot of support and whatever else. But yeah, it's just one of those deals, right? And you deal with this stuff and you move on, and that's what I've done at this point, right? I will still talk about it, but it's not to a point of like, hey, to incriminate on anybody or anything like that. It's just mention that, like, and yeah, because I don't like to badmouth people or anything like that. I don't like to do any of that stuff. And even in my live stream, when I called out the people, it wasn't for that. It was just addressing who was involved. That's it, right? And I wasn't mentioning to what levels people were involved. Because don't get me wrong, there were people that were involved more than others, and there was people that were barely involved, right? And that's just how it goes. But it's fine. It is fine. But yeah, it's just one of those deals. And I definitely appreciate you guys, coming out to my live streams and supporting me in the way you do. It is amazing. And truthfully, to think, like, it's hard to believe that I have this sort of support system of people I've never met and likely will never meet. It's possible that we could meet, but it's so unlikely, you guys being in different countries and stuff, right? And being across the pond and whatever else. But yeah, see, and like, I get those sexist and ridiculous comments all the time. I actually made, if you go far enough back, I made that a few months ago now. There's a video that I posted called The Dark Side of Being a Woman in the Car Hobby. And it was I took some comments and text messages of people hitting on me, Just because, hey, I'm a woman in the car hobby and I'm kind of attractive, and they're doing that. I took the harassment comments, I took the sexist comments, and I posted them all on YouTube. It's about a 3-minute video. And, there are some comments in there where it's actually kind of hard to read and got a lot of people emotional. But it got so many people to, like, men especially, because men don't realize that what we go through all the time, to realize what actually we go through, right? Like, I know that there's a kid that, honestly, he's a friend of mine. I talk to him all the time. His name's Teen Mechanic. He's here on YouTube. He's got a fantastic channel, to be honest. And he actually didn't know it was that bad. I mean, to be fair, he's 15. He hasn't had that much experience with that. Although, like, yes, he knows a lot, to be honest. I'm very impressed with his knowledge. And depending on what it is, he actually knows more than me. So he is very, very cool. And okay, you're subscribed to him too. That is awesome. Because, yeah, like, and the stuff he does is totally different too. I kind of like that about him. And because, like, how me and him met was actually, now, I'm not sure how long you guys have actually been on my channel for. But if you have seen the videos that I did last summer, like, not this past summer, but the summer before, I did a few videos on a 1978 Dodge Monaco. He was the one that actually bought that Monaco off of me, and then subsequently did some work on it, and then flipped it to a guy in Nova Scotia. So, I was kind of sad that he sold the car, but I completely understand. It's fine. He does regret it, though. That's one of the cars he regrets selling. But, it's fine. I get it. Sometimes that if you can make some money, do it, right? And I get it. It's totally cool. But, yeah. And, he does some really cool stuff. And like, the thing is, with him, he's all about the luxury, and the proper luxury, not the crap that they put out nowadays that they call it luxury, when it's more just sporty and awful. He likes the vintage luxury vehicles, and to be comfortable in a car. Because, like, he's got the Eldorado, and he's, got an LTD and stuff like that, and, it's pretty cool. And, yeah. There you go. See, Bruce has it perfect. And Brendan, yeah, absolutely. It's great. Like, I love that, I've been able to be as successful as I am here on YouTube. And being able to, because, like, there hasn't been a point in my life where I've been this happy. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm still battling demons in my head and whatever else. But to not actually worry about stuff anymore as much, and just to be genuinely happy, is something I haven't had in a long time. Like, because when I was younger, I've battled depression for a long time. It's been actually 10 years now. Well, actually, a little over 10 years. I think it's been 11 years. And then when I hit my lowest was when I was 15. And then it slowly crept up, but it never really hit a peak. And then it seems like I've hit the peak now, and it's just fantastic. I just have this kind of euphoria almost from it. So, and I have heard comments of, like, well, that's pretty cool, Brendan. And, like, now I want to ask you, though, because you've been here for that long, but you haven't hit 1,000 subscribers yet. Have you tried advertising your content, like, on Facebook? Right? Like, only reason why I ask is because, like, that's how I've gotten as big as I have in such a short amount of time. Because I've done experiments to show the difference between letting a video just upload and not do anything with it, don't share it anywhere, and then advertising it that way, which I don't pay anything for advertising, by the way. I'm just part of a bunch of groups, and that's where I share. Because yeah, it does make a big difference. Like, there are some videos that are just gonna tank no matter what. You know, like something that's sad actually is I talked about it in Novotaz's live stream. Is there's a video I did on Roy Marco's car collection. Okay, that's fair, Brendan. I mean, I just like to see people be able to be successful and stuff like that, right? And you know, and if you can, I like if you're all right with where you're at, then okay, that's cool. You know, and I'm not saying it's bad. Trust me, I'm not. It's kind of cool that you know you can kind of be humble that way and not worry about hey if anything's gonna be that successful or not. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, like for me, I never thought I was gonna be monetized or anything like that. I never thought I was gonna be in the position I'm in now, and it is super awesome to be honest. I love it. You know, and it's gotten me some opportunities, honestly, that I never had before. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I get that. You know, for me, because I'm all over social media. You know, like I have a Snapchat account. I have TikTok now. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. There is even a Twitter account, but there was never going to be anything posted on there unless if like, you know, um, unless if like for example I get invited to Barrett Jackson and like be on the panel thing and you know then post to Twitter that way. That's like the only time I'll do it. And I mean, I knew about monetizing, but I didn't really know when I started 2 years ago. But I didn't know exactly how you got monetized until I got much closer and started talking with people, right? Because you know it's been fun. It's been cool. I love the kind of journey that I've gone on and continue to go down because you know there's so many people that get flustered and just quit out, but you know if you stick with it, you'll get there eventually, right? Um, like and to be honest, especially with my early stuff. Granted, a lot of my early stuff was just awful. It was awful quality and really not good videos, but I still have them up. You know, I've only deleted I think like 2 videos off my channel, but everything else is still there. Um, and yeah, you can tell when I started to learn a lot more, and when I started to utilize the tripod and stuff like that too. That's cool. I mean, like, and the thing is, sometimes you know you'll have like videos that'll just hit their stride, and you'll gain a bunch of popularity from it. You know, with subscribers, right? Because that has happened with me. Like, I think the video with the most subscriptions that I have, I got over 100 subscriptions from one video. Granted, over time, but still, it's pretty cool. Hey, no worries, Tim. I definitely appreciate you coming out. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Oh, yeah, that does sound amazing. Like, and to be honest, a panther pink Mopar. It doesn't matter what Mopar it is. I want one. Hey, there you go. That's awesome. That's very awesome. Hey, for sure. Um, definitely appreciate it. I mean, yeah, and I can believe it. You know, a 440. Because what did you say? Oh yeah, just 440 RT Challenger that is Panther Pink. Yeah, I could see that being very rare. Like honestly, one of the rarest Mopars. The thing is, they call it rare, like the rarest because it's like one of the most undesirable cars, um, because of options. There is, and I can't remember what interior color it is. There's one that exists or existed. I don't know if it still does. It was a 1970 Dodge Coronet that was Panther pink, but a slant six car. And because of that, I think it was a slant 6.3 on the tree. Had like no options in it whatsoever. Like so undesirable, but it's Panther pink, and that's why they consider it. Even though there are other one of one cars, that's a one of one car that it's like it is so undesirable and stuff like that that it just makes it so much cooler and so much rarer than these other ones, right? I have heard of that one, but I don't know if it still exists. And like the thing is that I want an actual Panther Pink FM3 Mopar or Moulin Rouge if it's a Plymouth, right? I just love to find one and I'd love to own it because it is my favorite color, to be honest, on any car ever. And I love old Mopars, so it's kind of a win-win, right? Uh, but yeah. See, actually, no, I've never seen one in person, but I've seen pictures and stuff like that. And there was one for sale actually a few years ago. It was a 1970 Roadrunner that had the mod top on it, and it was so cool, honestly. Um, I have seen them. I've never seen one in person, but I want to. And like the car was green, and the top was kind of a flowery, sort of like floral mod top, right? It was so cool, so cool. But yeah, I mean, and it's so interesting what options you can get in Mopars during the time. Oh, 100%. Me too. Like, I like that sort of stuff. And actually, apologies. Um, but I think it is getting a little, quite a bit late now. It is 2:30. I should probably head to bed here and upload that video overnight. Um, Plus, I really need to go to the bathroom too. So, and I'm not gonna leave you guys here for too long unsupervised. So, yeah. Anyways, hope you guys did enjoy. I really did enjoy you guys coming out and chatting with me because I was a little bored, and I just wanted to do this, and so glad that you guys came out and chatted with me because yeah, it was a very fun time, and hope you all enjoy the rest of your day or evening, depending where you are. And yeah, I will catch you guys later.